I'll chime in here, Martin. I know
Yep.
I'm going based on a while since I read the book, but I remember one of the things that I really took away from it was the need to belong and for a man to know his place among other men. And in particular, you talked about rites of passage as as a critical role in that. And so I remember growing up with a lot of bullying and hazing and that kind of thing. So what I came to recognize was in a lot of ways, there's men who want another man to belong with them will actually engage in what appears to be abusive or dysfunctional behavior, but it's actually a way of trying to create a rite of passage. And yeah, and it's not to say that it necessarily justifies a lot of that behavior necessarily, but for me, it gave me a lens to look at other men and say, okay, now I understand what's going on here versus just going to negative places with it. And I remember you and I had talked a lot about how there's this driving need to have rites of passage as a part of for a man to belong, and how if that's not met in healthy ways, men will look for it in unhealthy ways. And that's something I just continue to. I mean, it's a complicated problem that I don't see a simple solution to, but being able to see that from a framework where it's tied to the inherent biology of how men operate is a really I think more people definitely need to be aware of that, and I still am finding ways to interact with that.
Excellent. I want to pull a book up. Hold on a second. While I was staring at this triangle going, I couldn't have come up with something that useful. And over the years, I found a book, and this was it. This was really profound to me, Why They Kill. And when I dug into this book, he goes through the socialization that seems to occur to make a human being into a violent criminal that is almost impossible to rehabilitate.
Hmm.
And guess what? Rites of passage into a gang is one of the steps. Mentoring into violence is one of the steps. And I realized almost my entire triangle had a dark side that's being addressed in our society while we're not addressing the positive side in our society. I actually think this is the core issue of most of the problems in our society by testing it and looking at in different ways. And so this was another important book that solidified how critical this was to get out there.